Hello students, welcome to English class. Welcome to Sri Vidya Bharati Metric Higher Secondary School. In plus 2, we have question tags in unit 3. So let's discuss about question tags. Question tags is very important. Not even for elementary or high school level, for higher secondary level it is very important. Okay, so let's start with the rules. Okay, question tag. So what is question tag? Let's start with the definition. Okay, so see here, a tag question is a short question that you know very well, form added at the end of a declarative and or an imperative sentences. So totally we have 4 type of sentences, isn't it? Assertive or declarative sentences, interrogative questions, imperative sentences, and then exclamatory sentences. But a question tag is a short question form added to at the end of which type of sentence? Declarative or an imperative sentences. So this question they may ask in competitive exams. Okay, and it is generally used to draw the attention of the listener to the sentences to seek confirmation. Note it down, to seek confirmation. Sometimes they are used to encourage a reply from the person who is spoken to. Question tags are commonly used in conversations and not usually in formal English. Points to remember while framing tag questions. Rule 1. The question tag always begins with an auxiliary verb or a modal verb. So, the question tag always begins with an auxiliary verb or a modal verb that you know very well. Question tags are formed with the same auxiliary or modal verb found in the main part of the sentences. Am I correct or not? So here, so see, isn't it, wasn't, aren't, weren't, hasn't, haven't, hadn't, doesn't, don't, didn't, won't, shan't, can't, likewise. Okay, so here I have given the first rule. The subject of the question tag is personal pronoun except there, which is a substitute for the subject of the statement. The pronoun should agree with the number. So note it down. The pronoun should agree with the number, gender and person of the subject of the statement. The negative adverb not is always used in contracted form. Okay? And then rule 2. If the statement is in affirmative, the tag is usually negative. So if the statement is affirmative, we will consider the tag is in a in a negative way. Okay. If the statement negative, the tag takes as positive. So Mr. Ranjit is a great scholar, isn't he? You can complete this project in a week, can't you? Alia will never accept your proposal, will she? Got it or not? And then the third rule. If the main part of the sentence doesn't have an auxiliary verb or a modal verb, question tag is formed with the appropriate form, do, based on the tense of the main and the number of the subject, main verb. See, Mahati sings well, doesn't she? So present tense, singular subject. The girls sing well, very well, don't they? Okay, present tense, plural subject. Mahati sang very well yesterday, didn't she? These girls sang very well yesterday, didn't they? Past tense, plural form. So, if the main part of the sentence doesn't have an auxiliary verb or a modal verb, question tag is formed with the appropriate form of do. Note it down. Okay, if there is no auxiliary verb or modal verb in the question tag, so you have to start the tag with do based on the tense of the main verb. Okay, so here they have given the tense in a present mood. So, doesn't she? Don't they? Like that. Here negative, past tense, sang. So didn't she? Okay, and didn't they? Got it or not? And then rule 4. The subject hidden in an imperative sentence is always you, and so the subject question tag is also you. Imperative sentences that express a polite request, obligation, suggestion, impatience, warning, etc. take will or would as a verb in the question tag. So note it down. Imperatives and polite request like that. If you have the sentence like that, you just use would, because here you just already we have discussed in modal verb. So where we use would to ask, desire or wish, is it or not? So here, please bring me a glass of water. Would you? So that means what? We are expecting the desire from her, whether she will do, she has a keen interest to do that, like that. So polite request. And then obligation, always follow the traffic rules. Would you join us for lunch tomorrow? Will you? Invitation, futurity. And then don't ever meddle with my papers. That means what? Will you? Warning. And then rule 5. The pronoun they is used if the subject of the sentence refers to the people or animals. The young should learn to take up responsibilities. Shouldn't they? Positive, the statement is positive, so the negative is negative sentence. I mean the tag is negative. And then the toys in the box are not new, are they? So negative, so the tag is positive. So remember that. And rule 6. Though the subject someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, no one, nobody, everything, everyone, everybody are singular in meaning. So note it down, singular in meaning. The pronoun they is used in the question tag. Okay? Nobody has arrived yet. So that shows the singular form. So we have to use have they. Okay, and then everyone will attend the party, won't they? Like that. Okay, very, very important rule. And then rule number 7. The pronoun it is used in the question tag when the subject of the statement is a thing. So where we use it, especially for things, is it or not? So a thing or an animal in singular form, something, anything, nothing, like that. Got it? So a thing or an animal in singular form, something, anything or nothing. Or this or that. For example, so here see, the peacock is the national bird of India, isn't it? Animal or things. And then the blue frock was more expensive than the pink one, wasn't it? Okay, wasn't it? Something has gone wrong in the circuit, hasn't it? This is not your dad's car, is it? Like that. Okay. And then rule 8. So this rule is very, very, very important. So often we confuse. So this one, first one you can attend. Peacock means animal. So you'll put it. And then blue frock, thing. Okay. So the blue frock was more expensive than the pink one. So wasn't it? And then something has gone wrong in the circuit. So something means what? Something. So hasn't it? So here has gone wrong. Negative. Sorry, positive. So we have to apply it in negative mode. So hasn't it? This is not your dad's. I told you, this or that carries is it. This is not your dad's car, is it? Like that. And then rule 8. When the statements begin with there, the same is used as the subject of the question tags too. There is not much time left, is there? There is not much time left, is there? Like that. So when the statement begins with there, the same is used to the subject of the question tag. So note it down, very, very, very important rule. So if the question begins with there, the same thing should be added in the tags. There was a pond beside the temple. So wasn't there? Wasn't there? And then the words hardly, scarcely means negative form, that you know very well, isn't it or not? So consider as a negatives, and therefore that you have to take the question positive question tags. We rarely visit our native town. Do we? Ajit seldom speaks in English. Does he? Okay. And then statements having a little, a few are positive. I told you, in that in the last class itself I have informed you. what is the difference between little, a little, few, a few, like that. So if the article a will come in front of little or few, consider as positive, and therefore the tag, therefore they take a negative tag, is it or not? So statement having little or few are negative and therefore take a positive tag. Got it? So a few germs can be viewed through the microscope. So a few means what? Positive. So the tag is negative. And here only little. So negative. So we have to use positive. Little do your parents know about this problem. So do they. Very, very, very important rule. A little, a few positive. So the tag will be negative. Okay. Little, few, negative. Therefore the tag is positive. So don't forget this. This may ask in error spot too. And then rule number 11. The appropriate form of be is used if the statement contains be verb, that we know very well. The be forms are, was, were are repeated in the tag. The verb am in the statement take aren't, whereas what we write in the state takes, we should not take the tag as amn't I. We should write aren't I. Okay. Ain't I is not used in the formal English. Ain't I is correct, but that is not in formal use. I am not, am I not is a formal one. Okay. So I am very honest and humble being. Aren't I? We should not write amn't I. Okay. Aren't I? This is very, very important rule. And sentences that begin with let's take shall be. So let, if the question, in the sentence start with let, so definitely the tag will be shall. Okay, let's close your eyes and meditate for some time. Shall we? Let's all go to the beach this evening. Shall we? Sentence that begin with each of, either of, neither of, both of, and all of take pronouns as the subject in the question tag. Neither of my two brothers helped me in that situation. Didn't they? We should not use did they. Okay. And then all of us are not eligible to apply for this course. Are we? Okay. Then punctuation. A comma is added at the end of the statement and the tag begins with a smaller letter and the end with a question mark. So remember that. Yes, a comma is added at the end of the statement. So see, all of us are not eligible to apply for this course. So what they have given here, the comma, and after that the tag begins with a smaller letter, not capital letter, and end with the question mark. Okay. And intonation. Question tags are usually asked for agreement when the speaker already knows the answer. Sometimes the speaker uses a tag question when he really wants to know the answer. If the speaker asks a real question, he or she uses raising intonation, that is his or her tone of voice raises. If the speaker already knows the answer and expects only an agreement or confirmation, he or she uses a falling intonation. His or her tone of voice falls. Okay, let's come to the book back exercises. Add suitable question tag to the following sentence and punctuate properly. The children are very happy today. So, aren't they? So, the subject is children, plural. So, the tag is they. And then, you have not returned my books yet. So, have you? You have not returned my books yet. Have you? We enjoyed the trip very much. So, we enjoyed the trip very much. That means what? We change into didn't we? Okay, the subject is we. So, that statement is positive. So, the tag is negative. Didn't we? We means plural. So, didn't we? Next, let's clean. I told you, so in the sentence, if let comes before, so what you have to write in the question tag? Shall. So let's clean the shelves this weekend. Shall we? My mother rarely travels by bus. So my mother rarely travels by bus. Does she? Okay, one. And then somebody must bell the cat. Somebody must bell the cat. Mustn't they? Anita never comes late to office. Anita never comes late to office. Does she? So never means negative. So the tag is positive. I am always the winner. I am always the winner. Aren't I? Like that. Don't commit this mistake again. Don't commit this mistake again, will you? There is a pharmacy near that bus stand. There is a pharmacy near that bus stand. Isn't there? Next, bacteria can never survive in extreme weather conditions. Bacteria can never survive in extreme weather conditions, can't they? I am not as smart as you are. I am not as smart as you are. I am. The boys broke the window pane last evening. The boys broke the window pane last evening, didn't they? Leaves wither during autumn. Leaves wither during autumn, don't they? Okay. And you should add a little salt to the buttermilk. You should add a little salt to the buttermilk, shouldn't you? And then here they have given the error spot in the question tag. I told you, no. So the evil doers cannot cross the path of the truth. So cannot, they have given negative. So the tag is in positive mode, not in negative. Okay, so can they? And the vegetables in the fridge are still fresh. Aren't it? We should not say. Aren't they? Okay, wow. Aren't they? The village head understood the intention of the politician. Doesn't he? We should not say. Didn't he? I claim to be a person of faith and prayer. Aren't I? Sollakudadu. We should say, don't I? The employees are seldom allowed to meet their boss. Are they? We should not say. Aren't they? We should not say. Are they? Because seldom is a negative form. And then let's, again, shall we? Let's organize a trip to Goa, shall we? The landlady will charge me for the damage, won't she? So will, negative form, won't. Both the sisters have left for Canada, haven't they? That's definitely not the right thing to do in this situation, is it? We didn't apply for a bank loan, do we? Or do we should not say need we. Okay, so here the verb, the modal verb is need, semi-modal. Negative they have given, so we have to write it as positive. The chief guest spoke a few words. Did he? Didn't he? The rhinoceros has a horn made of keratin, haven't they? Hasn't it? Okay, so take a screenshot and just make a note of it. So what all the rules I have mentioned in the material, you just go through. Twice you go through, so that will be very, very clear enough to write the question tag. So especially question tag is asked straight away in that vocabulary or in that error spot. Okay, thank you students. Presented by N. Ramesh Kumar, HOD, Department of English, Sri Vidya Bharati Metric Higher Secondary School, Sakarambalayam, Namakkal.